What's up, everyone? Welcome back into the Ride Life podcast. Here we took a little break, took a little vacation, hoping the weather would get better. But Jim, I went down to where'd I go? North Carolina. So in Maryland, maybe even New Jersey, the trees were green, everything was nice, looked like summer, and it still doesn't look like summer up here. But whatever, the weather's almost changing. It won't stop raining now, but what do
Hey,
you got?
listen, down here, man, all the trees bloomed. Like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, everything popped white and now everything's green. All the buds are out. We've had some warm days, man, 77, 78, 80. We touched. So, it's riding season. And, I've got the bike out a couple of times, like after work here and there. Of course, the best days I've worked late, but been able to like get it out and was looking forward to a ride today, but that kind of didn't happen. So um, shit just always like gets in the way. Like I uncovered the bike. It was filthy. I spent about 25 minutes like detailing it up a little bit, trying to make it look respectable. And the brake pedal all of a sudden was like mushy to push it down and it wasn't springing back up. So I think we know it's probably time for a master cylinder rebuild.
Yeah, that's well, you're supposed to change your brake fluid every other year, Jim. Have you been doing that?
Yeah. I did do it 2 years ago.
Really? Nobody ever
Yeah, because I I I forget why I had the front one off, and I'm like, oh, that's like brown. So I bled them both through.
Oh, all right. 'Cause
So
nobody
like
ever.
two years ago. No, and actually, I was gonna bring that up. Like that's probably one of the most neglected things like on these things is like brake fluid.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, I have not been out yet. I have a laundry list of things to do to the bikes. I've ordered a bunch of parts. I got tires. I got exhaust studs. All stuff that I got to do to the Road Glide and the Dyna. But let's talk about some events before we get this show going tonight. We've got a good show lined up since we haven't been here for a few weeks. We got a lot of things to talk about. So let's talk about events first, Jim. And June 21st is a big event for us, the barbecue, the Ride Life
Yep.
barbecue. So we're hoping to see some of our friends here just to hang out, talk bikes, look at bikes, do some burnouts in the driveway, give me some HOA fines, whatever it takes. Um,
You have an HOA?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, I didn't think your neighborhood had an HOA, but
No. So we got that. But before that, we think we still haven't talked about Jim with Jim and his new job and everything. We don't know. We're hoping to get to what's that one called before Laconia?
Americade.
Americade. So if we get out there, we're gonna get out there. But Laconia, the Ride Life barbecue. Then after that, I got Sturgis. I'm going to Sturgis for the first time ever on a motorcycle. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm just looking forward to riding. I'm looking forward to having some weather where I could actually ride. And I know the swap meets are happening. Like the Keene swap meet happened today, Jim, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then I think May 18th at the Granite State Fairgrounds is another swap meet. So if you're up in like the Rochester area, what are we playing music now? What's going
We might have to bleep that out. I don't know if we have the rights to that or not.
Jesus. So yeah, those are a couple of events. But any other weekend rides that you guys are doing? I think Roadie Riders. Did he invite you on a weekend ride?
Oh, listen, they've been riding. They were riding today. I'm kind of glad I didn't commit to it because of the way the brake pedal was. So I got when I pulled the bike out, I was like, all right, I'll still do like 20 minutes because we were just gonna go get a bite to eat or whatever. And I was like, all right, fine. But then dude, the sky opened. It just started pouring.
Yep, same here. I went golfing this morning. It was great. I'm like, oh, I'll get home, get on the bike, and it started raining. So
So, and I'm thinking, well, I got some stuff going on, but I'm thinking that I'll probably end up taking those couple of days off, like maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because for whatever reason, Saturdays have been like the worst day at work. So to make sure that I'm there for the barbecue, I might do just Friday and Saturday that week, something like that. But
yeah, that's fine. Come up like on a Thursday night after work, maybe or something.
yeah, maybe I'll do something like that. So I don't want to use up like a full week for Laconia this year.
Okay,
because I want to hit some other stuff. And I do want to hit Americade. That's probably going to end up turning into more of just like a one night thing, like just shooting out overnight, Saturday night after work and riding all over on Sunday and kind of riding back.
Yeah, that's fine because I gotta fix the exhaust stud on that Road Glide. I went out riding it the other day, thinking it was fine. I pulled the plug. It looks a little white, so I think it's running a little lean just because it's getting some air, some extra air in there. Um, so I got the exhaust studs, and I took a picture of it, Jim. Like it's not recessed. I think as soon as I take that exhaust flange off, I think I'll be able to grab it with like a an extruder extractor.
Extractor?
Yeah, extractor. They sell these extractor sockets that I think I'm going to be able to get on there and I'll penetrate it and heat it up. And I'm thinking I got one chance to get it off. And then if it doesn't come off, I'll be drilling it, which I don't want to do because it's the front cylinder and the frame's kind of in the way. And it's,
Yeah.
it could turn into a disaster real quick, which I'm hoping it doesn't. So I'm going to take my time. But I got that to do. And I got to burn off the rear tire because I got a brand new tire sitting right there next to it. So,
Well, you could burn off the rear tire without fixing the exhaust.
well, then I could blow up the whole motor, but
Nah. Then you can work on rebuilding it. You don't even like that bike. You ride the other ones more, anyways.
yeah, I know. But that's the one I'm taking to Americade. I'm taking that bike to Sturgis, so
Oh, for sure, I would.
it's got to be right.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what like I'm weighing it right now. So, I've told you this before. Like all my tools are in a storage unit, so I have limited tools here. I am actually contemplating not rebuilding the master cylinder and just buying one. The difference in price is about $100, but the difference in aggravation, it might be worth it to pay the extra $100. Because I got like I have certain stuff here. Like I have snap ring pliers, I have screwdrivers, but I don't have a vise if I need to like really like if that bolt is really like or that nut is really crusted on there or something. And it ends up turning into like a 3-hour job for something that just shouldn't be that long.
Yeah, you're overthinking it. That same exact thing happened to my buddy Mike on his Road Glide, and he ordered. You could order it's just that return spring. There's a little spring in there. It's probably old. It lost its coilness. So I forget what he said. I don't even think his just came back to life one day. He jammed it on, and then ever since then it's been working fine for him. So maybe try that. Take it out, jam it on, see if that works.
Well, I was kind of thinking about it today, and then with I was like, if I give it a good ride and I use the brake pedal, it might free up.
Yeah, exactly.
But with it raining out, I'm like, I don't want to take a chance that the rear brakes stick in the rain.
So you swing out the rear end a little bit.
Yeah.
Rider, come on.
Yeah. So the rebuild kits are pretty simple. I mean, it pretty much comes with like a new plunger and a new spring. I mean, there's not a lot to them. You just got to get the old one out and get the new one in. I guess there's one like little retaining clip that's kind of a pain where you have to sort of compress the spring. On the top of the shaft of that plunger, there's like a little thing you can punch out. And if you punch that out, like the spring slides off and everything, and it's easy. But I guess people say like driving that little punch out is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's tiny.
That's when if you live closer, it'll be perfect. Just come on over. We can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well.
I mean, if it was a nice like 75-degree day, I would ride up to your house with the parts. I mean, I'm not that. So my bike has the 2014s have my bike has ABS, but it also has over I think it's 25 miles an hour. No matter which brake I press, both brakes work.
Really?
Yeah, so you only got to be like you only got to be conscious about it at low speeds.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of a electronic thing.
Yeah, I guess so. So what else? I would say what else you got planned for the bike? Any other thing? Just besides boring maintenance stuff?
I gotta get through the next month, man. I got a lot of stuff going on the next month. I get through that. I'd love to be like, hey, I'm ordering up the exhaust and I'm ordering up new floorboards, and I'll probably do the floorboards before I do the exhaust, anyways. But it was a long, hard winter this year, man. It was brutal. Like financially, dude, the depot just was like dead.
So how is the new job going? How's the new gig?
Oh, I love the new job. I mean, we got Friday and Saturday. I got some stupid stuff going on. Like they sent me all over God's green earth, but I love it. I mean, I show up at somebody's house. It's like, oh, they got 3 bundles of concrete. Set them down the driveway, take a few pictures, and drive off. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't great days weather-wise, but Tuesday and Wednesday, I was out of work before 10 a.m.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it is kind of what you expected. You got some easy
Yeah.
early days. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have some crazy ones. Like, granted, I didn't tell you that. Did I tell you I got rear-ended on Friday?
No.
I didn't even know I got hit. So, they sent me. It was so dumb where they sent me. And I was literally driving through Hartford. And on the other side of Hartford, if you've ever driven through there on 84, it gets kind of windy and it was bumper to bumper traffic. I'm 5 miles an hour stop, 5 miles an hour stop. All of a sudden, I'm going like 15, and then we're coming to a stop again. I'm just about stopped, and I feel the truck just lurch. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, these new Peterbilts do some weird stuff. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Traffic started moving. I started moving. Some guy looked at me, and he's like waving me down. He's like, hey. I got rear-ended. Guy fucking drilled the Moffett.
Oh.
Wasn't even a mark on the Moffett, dude. The whole front end of his car was caved.
What'd you do?
But it cost me 2 hours sitting there because, I mean, cops like barely spoke to me. They were like, oh, you can just get, let me see your insurance card, your license and everything. I'm like, yeah. And like, I mean, it was painfully obvious what happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
good. So let's talk about, I drove down to North Carolina for vacation.
All right. Where in North Carolina? Did you go to the Outer Banks?
Below the Outer Banks, we went to Emerald Isle, it's called.
Okay.
So we left, which is the worst time ever to leave. I figured it out. We left on Friday night at like 11 p.m. Worst time ever. I've been up all day. I can't nap at 7 o'clock for 3 hours. So, I'm like dead tired. We're switching off driving. It just sucked. The whole time, it just sucked to get down there. So, it's probably the next day, Friday, the next day. We've been driving all night. So, prior to this road trip, she had a flat tire on her car, right? So I'm like, I'll just plug it. So I pull it out. It's like this gash in the side of her tire. So I put 2 plugs in it. Put a bunch of rubber cement, 2 plugs, and it held for like 2 weeks. Totally forgot about it. So I'm doing like 90 in Virginia, and I hear like the plugs flying out. Like, instant flat tire.
Bump, bump, bump. Yep.
So side of Virginia, flat tire. I'm like this is just great. So just to top it off, so then AAA got AAA. They come tow us to this little repair shop, and they put on a used tire for $60, and we were on our way. So it cost us like 3 hours, but the repair shop was right near Chipotle, so that was good. So I got some lunch, and then then vacation. I don't know if you like me. Let's talk vacation because I need to go on vacation where there's something happening. I can't go on vacation and just expect to sit on the beach and find stuff to do in this unpopulated town in North Carolina. It's so I'm not a beach person. I'm not going to go swimming in the pool. I can't just sit around. So it was kind of boring for me for a vacation. Everybody else had fun. At night was fun. I had a few drinks. We went to the batting cages, went to the driving range, did some go-karts. But other than that, it was pretty boring.
So
we drove
when you do that, like that's how I feel. Like you're like sitting there and people can just sit on the beach and do absolutely nothing. And that kills me. That is the most boring thing on the face of the planet.
Yeah, so I figured out I need to go on vacation where there's a motorcycle event going on. There's a Mustang week event going on. Something that I can do during the day with a Mustang or a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so that's what I figured out.
I mean, I can even drive, like, I can just drive around aimlessly if there's cool shit to look at.
Yeah, I did that, and there was nothing cool. There was the nearest Harley dealer was about 45 minutes away. I took a lot of pedal bike rides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to Dairy Queen to get a Blizzard. How much do you
I
think?
haven't had a blizzard. I haven't had a blizzard in a long time.
Oh, I had a lot that week. How much do you think a large Blizzard costs?
Ooh, $9.
Ooh, yeah, $8. I
Yeah.
was like, holy jeez.
I
So
went a couple I went a couple weeks ago and all I wanted was just a milkshake. It was like 8.75 or something for a milkshake. One size.
where'd
That's
you
it.
go?
One size.
Where'd you go?
Just like an ice cream place, like around the corner. It's not even like a chain.
Those local ice cream places, they get you. They get you.
Yeah. Well, it makes riding the bike experience like a lot different, right? Because I love stopping at ice cream places
Oh,
to like riding the bike and stuff. But
yeah.
it's like, hey man, like let's go get a cone, let's get this, and it's like next thing you know, you're dropping $25 for two people for ice cream.
Yeah, but that an ice cream destination is the way to go when you're riding.
Yeah, when it's hot for
Yeah,
sure.
it's a destination. It's a place to go, stop, have an ice cream, and ride on home. But, all right, let's. So we talked about your brake pedal sticking. Oh,
Yeah,
we missed. So April 20th was our anniversary. We've been doing podcasts for 1 year, Jim. We've made it.
I
We've made
know.
it. We're big
I
time.
mean, Define made it. We lasted a year. It's funny. I actually thought it was going to be May, and I just happened to look it up. So the first episode was published April 20th, 2024.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't bother to count how many total episodes we did, but I think it's pretty cool that we're still doing it.
I think we're just under 50. I think we're around 45, 46 episodes in.
Yeah, because we missed a few weeks here and there, especially like the beginning of last year. We did like 2 or 3 in a row, and then we missed a couple weeks and things like that. And then there's been some stuff over the winter, and so yeah, it's probably right around like 45 or so.
And, for being out here for a year, we've met some cool people.
Yeah.
We've got good numbers. I'm surprised. The numbers on YouTube are creeping up every day. We're getting new followers. We're getting new listeners. I had a kid, not a kid, I don't know how old he is, but Prentice. He was on the Five Dirty Bikers podcast.
Okay.
So yeah, he reached out and said he's been listening. He enjoys it. So that's always good to hear from another podcast, so that he enjoys a motorcycle podcast. And unfortunately, they're not doing any more podcasting. So
Oh,
hopefully,
really?
yeah. So hopefully, Prentice brings all of his followers and listeners over here, and they can listen to us.
Well, maybe he wants to come on as a guest.
Yeah. He lives in Daytona, so I told him next year during Daytona we'll go have a drink, and because it's weird because I started following him. So I found the Five Dirty Bikers on my way to Milwaukee that time. And I started following him because I knew he lived in Daytona, and I knew I was going to Daytona, and I knew he was going to be in Daytona. So I kind of forgot to kind of look for him when I was down there, but I had it in my mind that I wanted to see if I could run into him because just from listening to him on the podcast, it was kind of cool. And I knew he was local to that area.
So like it's hard doing the podcast thing. Like I think we both try to like come up with stuff and think about it all the time, but like, and we might have great conversations, but people might find it boring. You know what I mean? Like we don't put that pressure on ourselves. So we're always open to be like, hey man, what are your thoughts on this? Tell us that. Like I'm a man of the people, my man of the people.
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that. Man of the people. You're a man of
If
the
you
people.
want to hear us talk about, 1977 Suzukis, and that's going to entertain you, we'll give it some strong consideration.
I like 1977 Suzuki's. Man, I have I guess I haven't been into the motorcycles I'm getting back into it. Like today, I was in the garage looking over some stuff, getting ready. So I'm getting back into it. But the weather is just. I hate to complain about the weather every week, but it's absolutely killing me.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So you go to Daytona, it's beautiful weather. I go to Charlotte, it's beautiful weather. All I'm thinking about is, man, I could be riding the bike. But then you come home and you're like, okay, it's April now. Like, I know April showers bring May flowers, but normally we get some nice weather. Normally we get some 70s. And it was just this drag, and it was like a raw, like 50, like, and like damp, cold, just not even. And I think you almost like mentally put the bike aside because you're like, I want to be riding so bad, but I can't. So you just like forget about it because it's just nasty.
I know. And then I think about it, like, stop being such a bitch and just get out there and ride. Like, I don't know. But
The reality of it is once you're going and you're fine. It's like,
yeah, it's getting the motivation to get out there. And,
yeah, put all your layers on, grab your helmet, get the bike fired up. Like, all right. But now once you're down the road, you're good.
yeah, I agree. So, um, what else did I? Man, what? So, Rody reached out to you, and they've been riding. I figured they'd be
Yeah,
riding.
they've been riding. They did a ride today. They did a ride last week. It's now it's going to be at least another weekend till I get I'll probably order those parts. I'm going to make a decision probably tomorrow if I'm ordering a rebuild kit or a new master cylinder. Just order it,
Yeah,
get it done because I don't want it to hold up.
if you're gonna order a brand new master cylinder, you can't order a Chinese. You got to order a decent one.
Yeah, no, there was a is it JP Cycles? Drag Specialties has one.
All right.
The only thing it was chrome. I was kind of like, do they have a black one? But does it really matter? You can't see it anyways. You look on the bike where they are on that bike. It's like behind the pipes, behind the brake arm. It's in the front. Like, you know how on some of them it's in the back.
Yeah, no, all the touring bikes are up front. I thought.
Yeah, but it's in the front, and like it's just wedged in there.
Yeah, doing its job. Well, actually, not doing its job. I'm telling you,
It's not doing its job. Hey, listen, I got something I gotta tell you about. So my probably part of the reason why the Master Cylinder went to shit is my bike is an outside bike right now. Nothing I can do about it. I don't have a garage to put it in. So I keep a cover on my bike. And a couple weeks ago, I had the bike out. I had the bike out last week. But like I told you, everything popped like in the last week and a half. But I once the bike cools down, I throw my cover on the bike. I pulled the cover off the bike today. It was like I didn't even have a cover on it. There was like literally like a quarter inch of just like pollen and dust and everything on every inch of that bike. So if anybody out there knows a really good cover that doesn't happen to, I'd love to know.
Yeah, well, if it makes you feel any better, inside my garage, my bike still gets dusty and polleny. So there's that.
Yeah. You got the doors open a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't get wet, but I don't know what it is. The bike just sits there, and maybe from doing work over on the bench, dust and stuff. But yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta wipe them down. It keeps me busy. I gotta wipe them down every once in a while. I gotta wipe them down. So I can't walk
That's a
around.
hard knock life. But I don't know. I just never would have thought like having a cover on the bike, like it would get that much dust underneath it.
Well, yeah, it's covering it, but everything underneath the wind. As soon as the wind blows, it blows it
Yeah.
underneath it, and then it doesn't escape because you got the cover on, so it just sits right back.
And it doesn't get the big stuff. That's the one thing it doesn't get. Like it's kind of parked under a tree. So it doesn't get bird shitting on it. Doesn't get like the little thing, helicopters all over it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so that's all you can ask for.
that's it. So can we get back to the barbecue for a second? Because we kind of breezed over that. So the barbecue, June 21st. What time?
Thinking probably like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
All right, 2.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
All right. So we know some people are definitely coming. How many people are we expecting?
About 4.5 people, I'd say.
4.5.
Yeah. Well, Matt's coming, and maybe come with a couple friends. And we have Chris coming because Chris will be here early smoking some ribs.
Yeah.
And I'll have the barbecue. I'll have the grill going. So we'll have Chris and Matt and Brendan. If Brendan comes down for Laconia, he'll be here.
Is Dr. Harley coming up for Laconia this year?
That's a good question. I've missed his last few lives, but just because I was on vacation. I'm not sure. I don't. I feel like he's not coming to Laconia this year. I think. Oh no, because he's going to Mobbing on the Mountains.
That's right. It's like the same time.
Yeah. So
That's
I
right.
wish I was going to Mobbing on the Mountains, but yeah, Laconia kind of got screwed up this year and moved it, and so
Yeah, why did they move it?
I don't. I really don't know. I think they moved it to try to avoid the rain, but it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna rain.
Right. So this year, well, and because Father's Day is late this year too.
Oh, everything was late this year. Easter was late.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was late. Remember? I mean, it's been spring is late this year. It's not. Hasn't been here.
Spring is always late. It's gonna just be 98 degrees soon.
Yeah, we don't. There's no in between. That's what I was telling people down in North Carolina. Like one of those days in North Carolina, it was warmer up here than it was down there.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I'm like the one time I leave that stupid state, it's warm. So
It was pretty awesome when I was down there.
yeah. So, all right. So back to the barbecue. I think Todd from Indiana might be here.
Yep.
So Edwin. Oh, it's a Saturday. I don't know if Edwin can. He might be working, so maybe he can take that Friday, Saturday off too. Hopefully, because I know he has Wednesday, Thursday off during the week, so he might not make it, but he might make it. I hope so. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, heck, if we get 10 people, I'll have some. I'll invite some kids from around here. So if we get 10 people, 10 bikes in the garage in the
Yeah.
driveway, that'll be perfect.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. Maybe
Yeah.
have a few cold ones, do a few burnouts.
Yep. That's what
Oh,
I say.
the other thing that I got to do, and I have got to get those tires put on.
Yep. I'm your man. We can do that when you come up to Laconia.
I don't know if I want to wait that long, man. I was looking at them today. I'm like, these things are pretty harsh.
How they've been sitting at your house for over a year, so I don't think another
Look,
month is gonna hurt you.
I mean, a month of riding might hurt me.
You ain't riding that much in a month, so
No, maybe I don't know. I mean, look, every day the nicest days during the week are when I'm working, and then it's like shitty when
yeah,
So
exactly.
next weekend looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready to
think.
ride whenever. I'm ready to ride whenever. So, all right, I got a question for you, Jim.
All right, here we go.
All right, this is you might have to think about this question because I wrote this question and I still don't even think I could answer it myself. So, what was the moment you knew Harley was more than just a bike for you? Was it a ride, a sound, a road trip, or something else? But
So when I was younger, like before I owned motorcycles, like preteen, teens,
okay.
I always liked choppers. I always thought choppers were cool, but I didn't really know what they were.
Well, hold on. I think this is where the Hell Yeah Brother might have started in you.
It might have. I love choppers. But I really I don't think I was really aware of what they were back then. So back then I thought like the Harley Davidson, like the only thing I could picture was the Fat Boy and the Electra Glides, like the big like ultra classics with the bag, the tour pack and everything.
Yeah, the dressers they call them.
Yeah, he's got a full dresser,
Yeah.
as we say around. He's got a full dresser.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I thought of as Harley Davidson. And then I always thought like choppers were just like custom bikes that people built. And I worked a show when I was working at the Honda dealer.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it at Rockingham Park?
Oh, was it the
You know,
indoor motorcycle show?
it was an indoor motorcycle show. I'm pretty sure it was over the winter.
Yep.
And one of the Harley dealers was there. I don't remember who. It was so long ago. They had the Dyna Wide Glide. And like that was really like my exposure to like, oh my God, like they make some really kick-ass cool bikes. That was probably 2001. And before that, I just always thought they were like the big electric glides or
Yeah.
Sportsters. And that you know, and you got to remember what it was at the time. Going back 24 years ago, that Dyna Y Glide was probably the closest thing that you would get to a quote unquote production style bike that was chopper E.
Yeah, yeah,
Really wasn't a chopper, but it just, I remember it just had the forward controls and it had like the little mini apes, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And that's kind of where I got into the Harleys, and even though I didn't buy one for another like 5 or 6 years.
yeah, yeah. I would say, yeah, because so for me, I grew up, with you just loving dirt bikes, right? And
Yeah.
dirt bikes, off road stuff was the only thing I knew and loved. And dirt bikes kind of took over. I rode my dirt bike everywhere, every day. And I don't know if you remember when I moved in with my buddy Jeff in Hudson, New Hampshire, because we raced together.
Yeah. I vaguely remember you living there, but I remember him.
Yeah, big
He
Jeff.
had the yellow Suzuki.
Yep, yep. And so I moved in with him, and at the time he had a Honda Shadow, like a cruiser. And I just remember asking him one day, I said, "How is that to ride on the streets?" He's like, "Oh, it's wicked boring. All you do is cruise around, dude." I'm like, "Oh, really? That's too bad." Like, so that kind of killed my dream right there for on road motorcycling. So I'm like, "Oh, I'll just continue with dirt bikes." And then, and then a guy at my job rolled in on a Dyna Y Glide. This guy named Manny, and he had a Dyna Y Glide. It was this really cool teal and gray color, like one of the coolest Harley factory paint jobs that I liked. And he's like, "Want to take it for a ride?" Yeah. So we went out in Somerville. Like we were like behind like this Cal door. Do you remember Cal doors?
I remember Cowboys.
Yeah. So, and I'm ripping it in between buildings, right? So the sound of this bike was just incredible. In between the buildings, coming back and forth. And I fell in love with the bike right then and there. And I was like, I got to buy one. And that's when I started really looking into, because, back then you couldn't just go to the dealership and see what was out. There was nothing there. They didn't have a ton of bikes. So
Yep.
the Night Train was a bike that I saw with the drag bars. I fell in love with the drag bars and the black bike. And the Night Train is what I had to have. And I think just having that bike at first was the best thing ever. And then I started running into people that had customized bikes, different paint jobs. And then I hated my stock bike because I'm like, this bike is horrible. Stock bike, it's got nothing to it. And this guy's got these crazy paint jobs and different handlebars. And I think that's about when Biker Build Off started coming on. I started watching that. And then that's when I can still remember the time I was in my garage and I was chopping off the blinkers on my Night Train, and I had them off, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should cut the wires. And then I just made the decision, like, chop them right off. Had no blinkers, and I was like, I thought I was the baddest badass in the planet. Yeah, like putting on blinkers, putting on new exhaust with heat wrap, and
Oh yeah.
my 20. I had 16-inch ape hangers on that thing, forward controls. I was going down the road of Hell Yeah Brothers, and then Sucker Punch Sally's. Remember them?
Yep.
They saved me. They brought me back to reality, and I didn't go down the Hell Yeah Brother road. And from that point on, I just always loved that small. I hate the word bobber, but that small, compact rideability. You know, weaving in and out of traffic type of bike. Because that's when OCC was getting big with their big, gay, long choppers. Even to this day, like if my FXR, if the forks look a little too long, or any bike I have, I can't do that look. I just can't do a 4 over, 6 over front end.
So I never really like the stuff that they did was like crazy. Like their front ends were so long. Like
I, I
you know,
can't.
like the front tire, like remember how they used to do the reveals and it would always be on the stage? and it was like the front tire would come in, and then 30 seconds later you'd see the gas tank. Like it was that far. Like, but I mean, I got into the choppers, but like not like the huge front ends. Like I still to this day, like I like a little bit of rake, like a little bit of length to the front end, where that the tank's kind of coming up a little bit, and that that old school like Easy Rider. But like even an Easy Rider, when I go back and look at that, I'm like, wow, that's a lot bigger than I remember it, and I probably don't like it that big.
Yeah. Well, the other bike, one of the bikes was big, and then the other bike was kind of cool. So.
Yeah, the Dennis Hopper one. No, was it the Hopper one? Did he ride the kind of the American flag one?
Yeah, he rode the American flag one.
Yeah, so that one had the longer front end, if my memory serves me. It's been a while since I've seen that.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
I went back and watched it because I'd always seen pieces of it and I'd seen clips. It's kind of not what I remember, but it's still a good movie. But it's, for me, like that traveling around the country on a bike and just, that's the dream for me,
yeah, like we said, that lifestyle, that's just a different lifestyle. I mean, I envy it. And then Wild Hogs came out and took over the whole scene, and that's the best movie.
Wild Hogs.
To come out
that movie's awesome.
It is great.
That movie's awesome. Is that like, sometimes I can relate.
Oh, good. If you really like break that movie down, like it's so relatable because every weekend there's a group of riders just like them, and they go out for a ride, and then it's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good movie. I did like that. It was funny. But yeah, like I think about that. Like I think about some of those older bikes, and yeah, maybe I am the hell yeah brother or whatever. But like the cool thing is a lot of those people, like, we poke fun, but they ride, and they ride a ton, and that's really what it's about.
I mean, I think it's that time, Jim. We got to break down the hell yeah brotherism.
Right. So we started doing this a little bit, and it's kind of funny, and we kind of ripped off Jeff Foxworthy a little bit, but I want to hear from some people. But there's just certain things that are like, if you have this, you're probably a hell yeah brother. So we came up with a bunch of them. Now I kind of forgot them a little bit, but
I forget them too. But now that you say that, we got to come up with a T-shirt, like the Ride Life Podcast, and then something on the back like, if you might be a hell yeah brother if you don't listen, something like that.
This one was you. If you have a skull hand holding your mirrors, you might be a hell yeah brother.
Yeah, that is a definition of a hell yeah brother.
I thought of this because I forget where I was going, and I saw one of those like 2.5 inch, steel tube like sissy bars that's only about 16 inches tall, but it comes to like the really sharp point.
God, I hate those.
With the little pad in the back, and I was like, if you have a pointy sissy bar, you might be a hell yeah brother. I like this one too. That you said, if you have flame speaker trim, you might be a hell yeah brother.
Yeah. Oh wait.
It's true.
This one that you.
I want to hear from some people.
If you have forward controls on your Dyna, you might be a. Oh, come on, Jim.
Forward controls on a Dyna, you might be a hell yeah brother.
If you only wear a bandana while riding, you might be a hell yeah brother. Dude, I could have sworn I told you this story. So, my first road trip on that night train was with Edwin. We went to Virginia Beach. And we were walking around down there. We both had bandanas on, walking around. And I remember we walked by someone. They're like, "It's the Bandana Club" or something like that. But I used to wear a bandana all the time. I should get back into that.
That's when you still had the Harley leather jacket too.
Yeah, I sold that. Thank goodness.
Was it a leather jacket, or did you have just like the heavy duty jacket?
No, it was a leather jacket
with the orange and stuff.
Yeah, that cost like $500. I remember I went out for a ride. And it was like late October, and we went up to the lakes, and we ended up at Meredith Harley Davidson. And well, that's back when it was Meredith Harley Davidson. It's Laconia Harley now. But we were in there, and this was on the rack. and I had to buy it, and that was the best ride home ever. I had that jacket on, my big apes. I thought I was invincible.
Listen, I've said this. I've said this on this podcast. I have that Willie G Skull leather jacket, and I'm going to tell you that leather jacket is so nice and so warm, and it has like the removable liner, and it's awesome. And I literally do everything in my power to not wear that jacket because it's just got the Willie G Skull on the back, and like I've thought about. And I've never looked at it. I've thought about seeing if there was a way that I could unstitch it.
Yeah. Wait, so Hell Yeah Brothers, do they wear like the Affliction stuff, or is that a different crew? That's like big wheel bagger people.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So yeah,
The hell?
Hell Yeah Brothers have the cut off T-shirts.
Yeah, the Hell Yeah Brothers are like also like probably a lot of the like the Weekend Warriors, like the movie you were just talking about, Wild Hogs.
Yeah, but Hell Yeah Brothers are a lot of fun at the bar.
I know. Well, see, that's why I'm drawn in. They usually got the 40-year-old woman on the back that looks 78.
Yeah.
She spent her whole life on the back of a bike. It's just she looks like Magda from Something About Mary.
Oh God, Leatherface. What about if you have tassels hanging from your handlebars?
I don't know. Is that a Hell Yeah Brother thing?
That's the original Hell Yeah Brothers, I think.
So we should talk about this. There are little different things, right? So there's the Hell Yeah Brothers, then there's like the stunt guys or whatever. And then there's like your weekend warriors, like your dads that just leather up for the weekend, and like the Wild Hogs. We that probably should be like their own thing. Like those are the Wild Hogs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the Wild Hogs.
Yeah.
But there are little like facts, and then there's guys that are like motorcycle clubbers, and those guys are like legit, and they're probably everything but the Wild Hogs. Like they're probably everything in between.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they ride the most for sure.
But
what? Where would you put yourself? You are a Hell Yeah Brother. You're like you're 87% there.
I'm honestly probably more like 60. I'm somewhere between that and like the Weekend Warrior because I desire to ride a lot more. I'm not super into like I never got like super into the performance baggers. Like I like elements of them.
Yeah, same.
Like I love the way that like the stunt bikes look like what guys are doing with Dynas and stuff like that, but I'll never be a stunter. I don't have the time, and I don't have the patience or the balls, if I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm just not. Like
that's what drew me in. I mean, I've always loved doing burnouts in cars and donuts and stuff like that. But the look of the stunt bikes is really what drew me in. I love the look of the stunt bikes, the baggers, and that's what really. But and then just doing some burnouts and trying to do wheelies is always fun.
But if you were to say like in terms of just riding for me, like riding style, yeah, I'm probably more Hell Yeah Brother. Like I want to just go on long trips, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I love having my arms up like this with the wind hitting me in the chest, and I don't know, there's something about it, man.
Well, I mean, I think we all have a little Hell Yeah Brother in us because I mean, the performance guys, none of them have radios. They all have their intercoms and stuff. But I love riding my road glide with the friggin' radio blasting, just cruising.
Yeah.
You know,
If you ride alone a lot, having that radio is pretty awesome.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
So we got to get back. We got to get back to a couple of things on this show. So we're not going to do a beer tonight. We got to get back into the like, does Jim know?
Yeah,
because the season's kicking off now.
I should have does Jim know ready. I should have.
Yeah. It's been a really weird month, man, and we appreciate people sticking with us. People reaching out and being like, "Hey, did you release one this week?" So we appreciate that.
I threw you under the bus a bunch. I told him, I said Jim had his chance to do an episode by himself, but he wussed out.
I did. I didn't even wuss out. I was thinking about who would I get on short notice, and then your shoes are just so big, no one could fill them.
Well, I know it's tough. It's because you can do a podcast by yourself, but you got to have a guest. You can't just do it by yourself.
No, who wants to listen to me talk for an hour by myself?
Yeah, that's no fun.
I thought about it, and if ever there's like a time where it pops up again, I'll get a little bit more lead time and kind of figure it out. You know.
Yeah, we got some more guests in the works for you guys. So I think we have to get Matt's son on, talk about his chopper building.
Yep.
And I mean, there's so many people that I want to get on that, quite honestly, I'm just a little lazy and just not reaching out. I don't know. I feel like taking people's time away on a Sunday night is tough. Like, so I don't know. Sometimes I feel guilty about asking people, but it's fun. I enjoy having guests. Jim likes it, and the people like it. The episodes we have guests on are some of our better episodes, number wise. So people like to hear other people's stuff. Their story.
Absolutely. And they bring some of their some of their people in too, which is pretty cool. We can always listen if somebody doesn't want to do it on a Sunday night. We can always find another night and time that works.
Yeah, we are very flexible. Jim, not so much, but I'm pretty flexible, except for
Nah,
Tuesday
we
nights.
can.
No Tuesday nights. I got golf on Tuesday nights. Don't even think about doing a podcast on a Tuesday night. You know?
Our
Oh, you know what I've been watching lately?
hold on one second. Our season 2 premiere has gotten like 20 listens in the last like week.
I saw that.
That's
It
wild.
was with Danny Girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that girl. I hope she's still listening.
I don't know. She's getting huge now. Not physically, but like her Instagram. Like when we were down Daytona. Like the morning I met up with her, she's like, I don't know, I got like 300 followers today. I'm like, that's cool. I got like
She's one of the things that's awesome about her, like just from a personal standpoint, is that like she's just a regular chick.
Yeah.
She's a regular person. Like she's not caught up in the oh, I'm Insta famous or I'm this or I'm that. Like you could tell there's some people like you see them and it's just all about the content, and I don't feel like that with her. I think with her it's all about portraying a real thing.
Yeah, she's good. I love her little rants that she goes on as she's driving.
Yeah, me too.
But I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, Fox bodies. I've been getting a little bit back into the Fox bodies. I'm kind of looking forward to taking my car out, just seeing some videos. They have a Texas, in Galveston, Texas. They got a Mustang week. I didn't know about. I thought Myrtle Beach was the only Mustang week there was.
Isn't Galveston's right down on the water, right?
Yep. They have I'm pretty sure the Lone Star Rally is in Galveston, a bike event. So there's quite a few things that happen in Galveston. Our buddy Jack would know about Galveston better than me, but
that's on the list, man. That's on the list of places to go. Galveston, San Antonio, be down. I'd like to go down there and check it out.
San Antonio's fun. I've been to the Alamo. I've been to the Riverwalk.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Houston's cool. Like I said, I took a motorcycle trip down to. We went to Padre Island, South Padre Island.
South Padre Island, yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. We went to the Mexico border. We rode all over the place. It was great. Then we hit San Antonio on the way home. I think it was. Yeah. Or maybe on the way there, we hit the Alamo.
So I did Dallas and Houston, but I didn't really get out much. And like all I remember from Houston is when we got off the plane and we're like down by the baggage claim, there were literally like police outside with AR-15s or M16s. I don't know which ones they were, but
Houston?
I was like, well, in Houston. I'm like, I don't know if something happened or if that was like standard affair or like if they were like, there was like a prisoner transfer. I don't know. There was something going on. Like I was like, all right, that's a little weird. But I stayed at the hotel that's at the airport. It's like, so we didn't really go out in Houston.
Yeah, we went to. So Todd's cousin lived in Houston. He brought us around. We went to a couple of breweries, a couple of barbecue places. Pretty good.
Texas there's so many like amazing places, and if you're like me, every place I go, I'm like, this would be awesome on a bike.
No, same here.
You know,
Like when I was a truck driver, I used to take pictures of a bunch of places, and I could just think it'd be so cool to have my bike sitting in front of this location.
I've been running so many of these, like from Rhode Island to Connecticut, like double digit routes, like 47, 87, 89, 69, like, and they're all like awesome roads, and they all run like Rhode Island, and then like all like Eastern Connecticut and Northeastern Connecticut. They're sick roads, and they're like really in good shape.
What days do you have off? Are you off weekends?
I'm only off on Sundays right now.
That's it. You're six
That's
days a
kind
week.
of blows. Yeah.
Holy shit! Jesus.
I know. Well, that's the downside of the like short days, like when you're working till 12 every day, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, I was gonna say I got to ride out there probably on a Sunday then, and we got to get some riding in.
Yeah. I mean, I get my dispatch overnight, so like I wake up and I see what I'm doing and I know when I'm supposed to be done. So
Huh.
that's the only thing that sucks about it.
Yeah. Well, the way you made it sounded like you were gonna work less.
Well, I'm working less during the day. Like right now, like I ran into a guy at my old position. He's like working 68 hours a week. He's bumping his 70 like every week, sleeping in the truck, sleeping at stores. And I worked 6 days last week, but I did 50 hours.
No.
You know what I mean? So I'm not like I'm like, and Tuesday and Wednesday, I was out of work at like 9:40 and then like 9:50.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you think about it, that's still a pretty full day ahead of you.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you go in, you get out. If you get out at noon, you can still do stuff and feel like you didn't even work that day.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, you guys are on YouTube right now, listening to the Ride Life podcast. Do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It's huge. It helps the algorithm. It helps people think, or helps YouTube know that people are listening, and hopefully YouTube will put it out a little bit more and get more listens. So if you could just do that, we'd appreciate it.
got to go over to the Ride Life podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow.
Yep.
Ride Life Brian, Ride Life Jim. Now that summer's here, there's gonna be a lot more stuff. Well, spring is here. Be a lot more posting and a lot more activity going on for sure.
You know what's funny? I haven't taken a picture on my phone in probably 2 weeks. Like I tried. So last week I was on vacation. I tried so hard to just not even look at my phone. I went a few days without even going on Instagram. So it was pretty fun.
It's good to decompress sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because if I'm home, that's all I'm doing. I'm just like look at my phone. You know.
Because you're not doing anything because you look outside and it's 50 and raining.
Yeah. You go in the garage, stare at the bikes. I mean, I can only do that so much. I got to start working on them.
Yeah, got to fix that road glide.
Yeah, because the road glide's gonna get fixed. As soon as it's nice enough out, I'm gonna open the garage doors, take my time, fix the road glide, smoke off the rear tire.
All right,
So that's it. We're done.
that's it, man. What else do you want to do?
No, that's it. We did enough. That's we did it for the people.
Yeah, we'll be back next week,
Yeah,
and there'll definitely be some riding stories for sure. There's gonna be some riding weather this week.
oh, for sure. We're riding. So,
All right, man. We'll see you next Tuesday.
see you next Tuesday.